Let's see. This week, is this the 300 sellout? So Friday's a big day. Just did an interview with the Wall Street Journal. So it's getting some pub. So we're pretty fired up about that. That's started in 2001 for you history buffs. Started with a dare to our fans, and they stepped up and have been since 2001. And remember, we used to only have to sell out 4,000. Now it's 8,000. So we doubled that when we moved to Devaney, and pretty special. And I don't think any volleyball team even dreams about doing that. So it's thank you to our fans, and we've had some great teams that are fun to watch, and volleyball is continuing to grow. And again, I always say the epicenter of volleyball is right here in Nebraska.
Earlier in the year, you said Tyler Hildebrand has to go out and give away tickets or sell tickets. Craig's had to do that. Craig's had to do that in the past. What's it like that that's not something you have to worry about then?
Well, you're right. I don't worry about it. The problem is we got people who want tickets and can't get them. So I got people calling me, they want tickets, and we can't get them. We've got people from other programs complain because they can't get them. So it's a good problem to have. But with all that, it comes expectations. And, we have a lot of expectations here, and we're the highest priced ticket in the country for volleyball. And, a lot of these places are getting big crowds. I mean, they're still good free, or you don't have to pay anything or very little to get in. But, our job is to continue to put out a great product that Nebraskans can be proud of. And I think the other part of this is how many people drive from Holdridge, North Platte, all over the place to come to matches here. And I continue to, especially in the horse world, I'm running into so many people that, it's an event to come here. And then when we had to play the other night at 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night, I noticed there was some empty seats up there. But those are probably some people that, 8 o'clock match, that's a late night if you're coming from North Platte.
John, when you were approached about moving from the venues, how tough of a sell was it to you to do that? And were you apprehensive about it?
Well, here's the story. When they announced basketball was moving to PBA, and they were going to, what was going to happen with Devaney, Coach Osborne was going in to meet with the regents to discuss it and get the money for it. And I got called by reporters. I don't remember if Brent was still here or was here then. And they said, "Are you guys moving to Devaney?" And I said, "If it's not good enough for volleyball or basketball, why would it be good enough for volleyball?" And then I got the call from Coach Osborne about 10 minutes later to get up to my office. So he was pretty upset because I didn't know at the time he was going to the regents to do this later that day. And so he just said, what do we have to do to make this good for volleyball? And I said, we've got to take the Coliseum and we got to plant it in Devaney and make it the same type of feel. So we sat down and made a list of 7 things right there on his desk. And one of them was creating an intimate environment, because volleyball, you feel close to it. It's a great sport to watch and feel, and you get to see the players' emotions and all those things, It's hard in football because they have helmets on. Basketball, it's a little bit easier, but Pinnacle Bank's a huge arena, and so he agreed, and we got John Ingram and Maggie Thorne did a tremendous job of designing it and making it really cool. And then they said, Paul Myers was here at the time. He says, "Hey, we're going to put in skyboxes." I go, "What are you going to do that for?" He goes, "There's no way those are going to sell out." He goes, "No, we're going to sell them." And then we're going to put in 128 courtside seats. And then we're going to put in standing room only. I go, "Who the heck's going to go stand up there?" And I think our standing room only is sold out this year. I think they're selling out now, like 300. And those skyboxes have been booked solid. I think the original people that bought them haven't turned them over, and our courtside seats are hardest seat in town to get. So they dreamed big. I didn't want to lose the sellout streak, but a lot of that credit goes to Coach Osborne, who he says, "Hey, we're going to do this right. We're going to make it good for volleyball." Because I was worried, what if we put volleyball in Devaney and people don't like it, and then there's going to be complaining we're not in the Coliseum, and then we could lose interest. But the other thing that it did, by us moving, and we could have lost a generation of fans by staying in the Coliseum because people weren't giving up their seats. And we have an older crowd. We didn't have a student section. There was no place if a high school team wanted to come in. They couldn't get in the Coliseum. There was no tickets. So we could have lost a whole generation. By opening Devaney, we got 4,000 more season tickets and a whole new generation of fans. And a lot of those are younger families and younger kids. And I see how many kids are down there in that hallway after the matches. So it was a great move. But Coach Osborne, John Ingram, Maggie Thorne, those are the guys that made it happen. And then the other part of the story is in the construction, all my rings got stolen, but we got them back. So thank you for the Lincoln Police Department and University of Nebraska Police Department. They never gave up.
John, it's like a foregone conclusion now that you're going to sell out the season. At what point did you guys go from starting the streak back in '01 to, I guess the question is, when did it start becoming an assumed thing that the match after match, everything would be full?
Well, there's a story behind that, too. You want the story? Okay, all right. So, congratulations. You've been giving Lincoln Lutheran a lot of PR. Their social media is going way up. So, it's pretty cool, though, isn't it? After you see your kid out there. I missed one and got to see one with Lauren. But so we were getting ready to take an international trip in 2000, my first year here. I went and spoke to the Beef Club. And this guy, we do the question and answer thing afterward, and they said, hey, who's paying for your trip to China? I said, I don't know. I mean, Bill Burns doing something. I said, we have a match club that'll pay for part of it. And he said, well, if it wasn't for football, you guys wouldn't be able to go. And I walked out of there and made a vow, someday we're going to shut that guy up. And so the first thing we decided in 2001, I challenged our fans, like, we need to start a sellout streak like football, so let's do it. And that's why I said our fans have delivered, great credit to them. And we, started selling more season tickets in the Coliseum, and then we've continued, and that was in 2001, we started that streak. So that's how it all started, and now we're selling out an 8,000 seat arena. So it's.
How do you not take it for granted?
Oh, every day I talk to our team. I mean, every day I come in there, I'm like, never want to take this for granted, never. And sometimes trying to be the leader of all this, I get on people over there about little things that we're not going to take this for granted. And, since we moved to Devaney, the only complaints I've ever heard in there is parking. And it's gotten better. And the city finally put 2 lanes going over the big bridge over there, so that speeds up people trying to get in and out. So, and I think I've heard, they want to build a big parking garage over there at some point to make it really nice. Because I worry about some of our older fans at night, late nights, walking out there, especially when it starts snowing and that stuff.
Do you remember the feeling for the first sellout and what that was like for you?
Well, we had sold some other matches out. We just hadn't done it every match. Yeah, so we had sold. I mean, when Coach Pettit was here, there was some matches that sold out. Like we played Texas a couple times and Hawaii. Those matches sold out. It just was not every match. So now we've sold out 300 matches. And I love it when I talk to these recruits because I can say, you know what? What year were you born? 2005. I go, we were selling out 4 years before you were even born. So, I mean, that's where we're at. It's pretty incredible.
When did you realize that it was catching fire and it wasn't going to go away?
I think 2000 we won the national championship, so that created a lot of momentum. 2001 we had a shot to win it. 2002 we had a great team. And then I think 2006 was the Final Four was in Omaha. So that kind of I think volleyball started becoming because we sold out Omaha. So I think that's when it really started rolling.